What's going on, everyone? So whether you have a small trading account right now and you're just getting started, or you're someone who's been struggling to grow a trading account to the point where you can get past the PDT rule, not worry about all these different restrictions that you have under $25,000, I want to share how I've been able to grow an account from $225 to over $7,500 in just about 8 months or less. And so that may sound kind of crazy, that the percent return on that is insane, but I want to share the strategies that actually went into that, and I want to go over how I've done it on my Webull account, and I've actually shown it here on the channel, so you can go back and see the videos, see the progression, but I want to kind of detail the things I have learned from that and really share how you can do the exact same thing and take your account to the next level. Even if you have a small account, you're under the PDT rule, you have $100, you have $1,000, you have $10,000, whatever it is, I want to share at least what I think is going to help you and what has worked for me. So real quick, if you actually want to go back to my last video after this video, you can see one of the ways that I was able to do it. And I actually joined, it was about a Discord trading group, my experience with the paid Discord group. I go into the detail of the group that I joined and whatnot, so you guys can see that now. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And I've talked about that before here on the channel, and I always will have it as a recommendation if you want to. It's not something you have to do, but it's something that I use. So what happened was, we originally started this Webull account with about $300. We lost the first 75 right away. Then I grew that account from there. So that 225 was like the end of October, and now come the beginning of June, we've crossed $7,500 in the account, and it's actually surpassing that again quickly as the days go by. So the reason why is because, of course, now you have more money, so you can make more money off a trade. So if you have a sound strategy, or you can develop a strategy over time, which of course at the beginning it was ups and downs, but if you can develop a strategy over time, now my account will go from 7,500 to 8, 10, 15,000, a lot faster, right? Because I'm making more money on the trades, and so it just naturally will happen. But when it comes down to it, that 7,500 was not, getting from that 225 to 7,500 was not all profit. Okay, I will explain that in the video. So it really, what it comes down to is that I found that it really is unrealistic to think you can go for that percent return. So then how does this make sense? How did I do it? Well, I took the account, and a lot of that is actually profit, but I took the account over time, and I've actually added to the account. This is how I would recommend you go about it. So it's one of the biggest things I would say, and we'll get into the exact strategy, but I will disclaim that this is not all profit, although most of it was, a good amount of this was profit. And you guys can go back and see the channel, see the progression, see how much profit I'm making each week. I think I've actually had a profitable month every single month. I've actually, since October, since November, I've had a profitable month every single month. Now, of course, the more money in the account, the more consistent the strategy is, or the better you do in a certain month, you'll make a lot more money because you have more money to play with, your positions are larger and things like that. So of course, as you get to the higher numbers, yeah, you'll make more money, you'll feel like you're making a lot more money, when realistically you're making the same percentage returns if you have a strategy that's kind of the same. It doesn't really change. So like I said, not all profit, and we'll jump into that. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so of course what I'm doing here might not work for you. So it worked for me, it may not work for you. Hopefully this helps you guys out, but it's of course not always going to be guaranteed to work for you. So you got to kind of take your strategy and see if this makes sense, try it out, and if it works for you, awesome. If not, you can kind of mold it to hopefully fit whatever works best for you. So what I was talking about with this not all profit. So what I say about not all profit is that I was consistently adding money into the account. Now, that reasoning why was because this way, even if you lose, if you have a down week, you have an up week, whatever it is, you can always fall back on adding money. So let's say you have $1,000. This is kind of like the best way I like to look at it. You have $1,000. What I would recommend is not take that $1,000 and put it into a trading account. Why would that be the case? Well, because if you put $1,000 into your trading account and you just start, okay, and then you lose $500, you lose a couple $100 initially, like I had the $300 that I put in, I lost 75. So that's a decent percentage of $300. Like that's not, I was not too happy with that, right? But I put that $300 in knowing that I can put some more money in down the line if I need to. And it's the same way that I'm working on my current day trade account, which is again, a small account. It's now crossed the $2,000 mark, which is pretty cool, but it's a small account. And so I've been adding money to that account over time. Like I could come in right now and add, a large chunk, of money that I have right now that I can put into an account, right? The problem with that is that now if you lose it, you're going to be discouraged, you're going to have all these emotional things, and it's going to be now an account that you're going to have to grow from $500. If you put $1,000 in, you lose half, you got to grow from $500 now to 1,000, and then you start profiting. So you kind of say, okay, this is kind of, this is not really going to be fun. It's going to kind of really mess with your head, mess with your emotions. And so what you do is you put in $100 every week or every month, whatever you want to work it every day, whatever works for you, where you put $10 a day. And so you kind of just strategically spread that $1,000 out over a couple weeks. And so what's going to happen is your first couple weeks, you may have losses, you may have issues. Then your next couple weeks, you may start to break even, or you may start to see some profit. You may have an up week, you may have a down week, and then an up week again. And so this way you kind of almost ensure that your account will be going up long term, as long as you're not consistently losing money every single day, right? You're ensuring your account will go up long term. So mentally, that's going to help you a lot. And your psychology is it's going to be a lot better for that aspect, which I think is like one of the biggest aspects of trading. And then when you can know that in the back of your head, that you see the chart of your account, right? It's going up. That's awesome, right? It's encouraging. It makes you want to continue. And then you think, okay, well, now if I can add money and then I can start to profit, like, okay, this is going to be really, really cool. So that's kind of the mindset that I had. So the initial $300 goes in, I start making some profit, right? I start making some money. Okay, add some money to the account, right? So I'm feeling better, I'm feeling more consistent. I feel like, okay, I can risk a little bit more money. And as I'm profiting, I'm now having more capital to work with on top of depositing. So I have additional capital to work with as well, right? And I'm still doing this today, okay? So I just added another $150 to the account. Now in the grand scheme, what's $150 out of $7,500? Not that much, but what does it do? If I have a $150 down day, which I just had, last week, right? Well, it essentially cancels that out. So mentally, right, I don't see the drop in my account. I don't have to go, oh my gosh, now what? And it doesn't mess with my head, so you don't have to worry about that. So until you can become consistently profitable, I would recommend you always look to consistently add, if it's $10, if it's $5, if it's $100, whatever works for you. If you know you consistently can add $5 a month or $5 a week or $5 a day to your account, do that, and it's going to help you tremendously. So what did I actually trade? Well, I'm actually someone who's been trading penny stocks. Now, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's worked for me. And so I initially got into options trading, and then I've kind of gotten into penny stocks. And there's two different sides to penny stocks, or low floats, micro cap, small cap, whatever you want to call them, right? So you can have the day trade side, which I am working on right now, actually, as we film. I was just day trading, and I'm up decently right now for the day. So there's the day trade side, and then there's also the swing trade side for me, right? And so what I've found in this account, what I'm talking about is actually all swing trades. So PDT rule, nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about the PDT rule. This is all just swing trades, okay? Now, of course, I'll make a day trade here and there because I get 3 day trades in that 5-day trading period because the PDT rule, under $25,000, you can't day trade more than 3 times per 5 trading days, and then it resets. But I only will make a day trade if a stock that I get into today all of a sudden shoots up and I'm like, okay, I might as well just take some profit here. That's what I'm talking about for a day trade. Although most of the trades are swing trades. I'm not intending to day trade. My intended day trade account is separate from this account. So if you're going to try to mix that up, I would recommend opening 2 different accounts. And so what do? Well, I have Webull for my swing trades, and I would highly recommend, if you're getting into penny stocks or any stocks really, I would recommend Webull. I have a link down below to get 2 free stocks. One when you sign up, and a second one when you deposit $100 into your account. So if you got $1,000, well, what do? You create your Webull account, you sign up with the link below, you deposit $100, you're going to get your 2 free stocks, so you add some capital, right? Now you're trading with, let's say, a couple $100 or $150 or whatever the free stocks come in. You can sell those stocks, and now you have whatever money it is. And then the next month or the next week, you add another $100, right? And you consistently add money to that account, and that's how I would recommend you go about it. So that's my strategy right there, right? And then let's say Webull is your swing trade account. Then what you can also do is open up a TD Ameritrade, for example, a cash account, which is what I have for day trading. Open up a TD Ameritrade cash account, which means you can day trade as much as you want. The problem is that once you make a trade, that cash from that trade is going to take a day to settle, or a couple days to settle, right? And so you can't use that tomorrow, right? You have to wait a couple days for it to settle. So it makes your position sizes smaller, but it's also really good because now I can't go all in on a trade, right? If I have a $2,000 account, well, sometimes, people who are just starting might think, okay, this is a solid trade, it's guaranteed, they'll go all in. And the problem with going all in is then now, okay, you go all in, let's say it's a loser, then you got to wait 2 days to even make another trade. So you can't, it's a really good way to kind of go about day trading, I think, initially with a cash account. that takes time to settle. Those are my two different accounts. Now with the swing trade account, I've been swing trading penny stocks. I of course have the video going over the Discord group that I use. I have other things that I'm using, and I'm getting better and improving myself, so I can now make some decisions on my own. Whereas when I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. So now it's getting a lot easier to make the decisions, I think, of the trades to make. And I can see a chart and say, okay, I like this chart, I like this trade, right? I don't have to really, if someone can bring it up, I can find it somewhere. I can see some people talking about it anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. Stock twits, it could be a Twitter, it could be anywhere, right? And of course, don't just go off blindly off those things. But if I see that, I do my own due diligence, I see the chart. And so there's all different ways that you can find the plays, and then once you start trading, I've now developed a massive watch list of all the stocks that I've traded. So what happens every couple months is that the pattern repeats, and these stocks will generally do similar things, announce news, or they come back down to support and they pop, and there's technical breakouts, all these different things. And so the technical parts, I'll make more videos going on in the future, but that's kind of how I've been going about it. The next piece here as to why I was successful in doing this so far the past 8 months is that I'm not relying on this money as an income. And I think that's absolutely key. It's that when people start trading and they think, okay, I'm going to trade, I'm going to start making money, and I'm going to use this money to pay my bills, and I'm going to quit my job, or I'm going to rely less on my job, or I'm not making enough for my job to pay off my car, I'm going to buy a new car and use my trading. Then you start, really struggling with the mental aspect, because when you have a down day, you start thinking, okay, now what if I have a second down day? And then it's going to mess with your next day. And it's going to mess with your plays. It's going to mess with how fast you're going to pull a trigger. If you're going to be able to make the right trade, think logically about a trade. You're going to get out too early. You're going to miss out on profits and things like that. And so not relying on the money is absolutely key initially. And then eventually you can get to a point where if you're consistently making $500 a week or $1,000 a week, okay, you know what? I'm going to take out half of that. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to use that for long-term investments, or I'm going to take out half of that. I'm going to use that to pay off my new car that I just got. Once you're consistent, but if you're not consistent, it's not something you really absolutely at all want to be relying on by any means. So now what are the plans going forward with this account? Well, because the account has grown to this point, right, because of that, the plans are to continue to grow the account. And of course, once I get past that $25,000 threshold, that's when I'll start to think about taking money out and whatnot. Reason why I don't want to do that right now is just simply because as of right now, the day trade side would be pretty helpful, because if I enter a trade, sometimes it's messing with my emotions, it's messing with my thoughts when all of a sudden it goes up in a day and I want to take a little bit of profit and I want to buy back in lower. So I think I'll have more freedom once I get 25,000. Once I get to that point, then I'll look to say, okay, anything over that on a given week, I might be taking out. On top of that, also looking to take some of those profits and help build up the day trade account a lot faster than where it's currently going, because that account's sitting at 23.77 right now, which is pretty good because of where it was not that long ago. But I would like to get that up a little higher because it's now about to be my 4th consistent week profitable in a row day trading. So I think I would like to increase that account with that swing trade money as well. So it's kind of, once you got one going, you can kind of use one to fund the other in a sense. And so hopefully that's something that I'll be doing in the future. And who knows if I'll be taking this money, investing it long term. We'll have to assess that as I get closer and as I get further along, I guess, in the journey. So with that being said, I make videos every single Saturday going over my swing trade plays going into this account and explaining everything. This account that I'm talking about, the one that I grew from 225 to 7,500, we're in that account. We're going over the plays. We're going over what I like into next week. So my past results in the previous week, and we're going over everything. So hopefully you guys are sticking around, subscribing and liking the videos for those, because those are my favorite videos to make every single Saturday. So hopefully you stick around for that. And with that being said, I have more videos going over swing trading, going over day trading, all those types of things. And I will be making more here on the channel in the future, as well as jumping down below if you would like and get your 2 free stocks on Webull when you deposit $100, up to $1,400 in free stock value. That's absolutely awesome. I highly recommend you jump on that. I use Webull. Any questions, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. With that being said, I'm posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I will see you in the next one.